How do you fuck that up? Guys, how is everybody doing? Continuing on with the Nightmare on Elm Street review series. Sorry that this is pretty late. It's been almost a week since my Freddy vs. Jason video went live, and since with school starting and me getting prepared to that, my life got a little ahead of me, so my schedule got really messed up. So, you're gonna be getting a lot of videos from me for the next couple days. So what I'm gonna be doing, so today or tomorrow, whenever this video gets up, or whenever you're watching this, I will have my ranking of all the Nightmare on Elm Street ranking out, and then the next day or tomorrow, again, whenever you're watching this, and I will give you my personal ranking of the versions of Freddy, and then we will be done with the Nightmare on Elm Street review series, and then I will be reviewing the two Equalizer movies leading up to the third movie next Friday. So, basically what I'm saying is that you're going to be getting a lot of videos from me for the next few days, but with that all out of the way, here are my thoughts on the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Those of you who don't know, I'm not a big remake guy. I've reviewed a few remakes on my channel, namely the Rob Zombie Halloween movies, the Child's Play remake, the Black Christmas remakes. I might have reviewed others, but I can't remember on the top of my mind. But I've never really liked remakes. I felt that remakes are pointless. They try to remake something that was probably already perfect, that should have never been touched, and then when they do it, they make the original look even better. I don't like remakes because they're making a movie that was already done, and just can never get behind remakes. There are very few remakes that I really enjoy, or just like some of my favorite movies of all time, namely like The Thing and Scarface and the Blob, maybe? I don't know. Those are really the ones that come to my mind. But movies like that, to me, those are movies that are just absolute classics and remakes that should be praised around the world. But then when you remake certain movies, it just goes, why did you remake that? So, yeah, I feel no different about this one. But I do like a few things. Starting off with my positives on the Nightmare on Elm Street remake is Jackie Earle Haley in the role as Freddy Krueger. Now, the Robert Englund, he is always going to be Freddy Krueger. To horror fans like us, he's the only, well, he's not the only Freddy, but he is the best Freddy Krueger. He made Freddy Krueger. He made him the rock star of the 80s. But Jackie Earle Haley, to me, is a great replacement as Robert Englund. If they could never get back Robert Englund, they chose a wise choice with Jackie Earle Haley. And when you watch like Watchmen and his like Rorschach character, he sounds like Freddy Krueger. I remember watching that movie and I'm like, oh, I bet this is the reason why he got Freddy Krueger the following year. And I imagine it was because he sounds like Freddy Krueger in that movie. I love Jackie Earle Haley in the role. If you can't get Robert Englund back, bring back Jackie Earle Haley. To me, I feel he would be appreciated more and loved by all horror fans if he just got a better script and better makeup, because nobody talks about Jackie Earle Haley. And it's a shame, too, because I feel he's a great actor and he's a great Freddy Krueger. He plays the role perfectly, and he has that perfect deep voice, and he makes the character scary. But let's all be honest. Jackie Earle Haley can never outpass Robert Englund just because Robert Englund just is Freddy. So it's going to take a hell of a person to outpass Robert Englund. And with this new update and stuff about Nightmare on Elm Street supposedly coming back, which I don't think we'll see the light of day ever, if we get another Nightmare on Elm Street movie, I would honestly love to see Jackie Earle Haley reprise his role as Freddy Krueger. And my final positive. I don't care for this movie much if you can't tell. Is I really like how this movie explores micronaps. If you don't know what micronaps is, it's some sort of like function that your body goes through where if you don't sleep for a certain amount of time, your brain will basically shut down for a few moments where basically where you think you're awake but really you're asleep and everything, and like when they're awake they're dreaming and seeing things. It's a very cool concept that we've never seen in the Nightmare on Elm Street series, and I'm glad they explored it here. When you watch it in here, you kind of go, why didn't they kind of do that in the other movies? But I felt that they did pretty good here, especially that whole scene where Nancy is like looking down the hallway and she sees Kris in a body bag like from the original and all that, and like that's like micro naps and stuff. Like certain scenes like that, it's like, well, that's a pretty cool idea. Why don't they use that much more? But they only use it for like three parts of the movie. Basically wasted it. But what they do use in the movie, I do like, and I do really like what they tried to do here. And I just really wish it was explored more. But what they do use, I feel it was very interesting, and it's kind of confusing why they haven't done it before. Now, moving on to my negatives. Why are there so many fucking jump scares in this movie? Like, there are so many fucking lame jump scares in this movie. Like, almost every. Oh god, excuse me. Almost every scene Freddy Krueger shows up, there's like a loud blare and just like he'll just say boo and he'll go bah, and like that's not scary. That's fucking obnoxious and loud. Like like the first scene we see Freddy Krueger, like he'll do the thing with his hand, it'll just go ting, and then like a loud music thing, like a loud orchestra will go out, and I'm like, how about you just do the sound effect with the fucking glove instead of just go boom? Like, I get it, cool little killer handy thing. Like, I don't care that you need to like just like look at this, play loud music over that, just to show how badass that is. I don't care. It's a fucking cool ass glove. Like, don't play loud ass music over it. Like, I want to hear the dialogue, please. I don't want to be deaf in this ear for the rest of my life. I need this. You understand? I was wearing headphones watching this fucking movie, and it's fucking loud. Okay? It's fucking loud. I need this ear. I can live without this ear. You get rid of that ear. This one bothers me. This ear, that's cool. I need this ear. I need to fucking hear the movie instead of just hearing fucking loud jump scare things. It's like my issues with Insidious. Like, I fucking hate the jump scares in that franchise. It's just loud noises. There's just so many. Like, it's just like, why are these here? Oh, yeah, Michael Bay made this movie. Why does Michael Bay like to ruin childhood? They kind of making like Transformers. How do you mess up making a movie franchise about robots just beating the shit out of each other? You get Michael Bay to make the movie. Besides from Jackie Earle Haley, I feel that the performances in this movie are fucking bland and horrible. Especially from Rudy Mara, who has come out and said over the years and after this movie came out that she hated being in this movie and she didn't give a fuck about this movie, or Nancy Thompson, that she basically did jack shit and just did it just for the paycheck. Can I ask you this? That insults me, by the way, for someone who loves this franchise, loves The Nightmare on Elm Street, and loves Nancy Thompson for that being one of my favorite final girls of all time. And then you're just gonna treat her like dog shit, like she's nothing, and you feel like that you're better than this character? Why audition for the fucking movie? And why take the fucking paycheck? If you're just not gonna give a shit about this character, about this franchise, don't audition for it and don't take the paycheck. That insults me. And I'm pretty sure every Nightmare on Elm Street fan is insulted by that because when I found that out, I was insulted. I should, like, that just insults me as a fan of this franchise and of this character. And it pisses me off to my core that she's come out and said that about this character. And it's kind of made me lose respect for her. Like, I love her in the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo movie. She's great in that movie. But ever since she came out and said that, I've lost all respect for her. And I'm glad she's never been in another movie because after that, I just basically lose all respect for her. The fact that she said that to everybody, like, that just pains me. And I'm sorry, but if you love Rudy Mara, I'm happy for you. I applaud for you. But the fact that she said that about this franchise that I absolutely love, that it's just made me lose respect for her. And her performance throughout this entire movie is just bland. Like, her entire face is just the same, just, I'm not joking. Like, the beginning of the movie when they're at a funeral, she's just the fuck is that performance? And then you got Quentin. Like, I forget who the guy's played by. I feel he's an okay actor just in general. But the entire guy, throughout the entire movie, he just looks tired. Like, he just looks like his eyes are black, like he looks like he's about to fall asleep throughout the entire movie. And I'm like, how much sleep do you get a night? 30 minutes? Because it looks like you only get like 2 seconds of sleep like every day, dude. Like, get some fucking sleep. And his performance is just bland. Like, he'll just like say certain parts of this movie. Just like, he wasn't after us because we lied. He's after us because we told the truth. Like, do you want to do another take on that? Because that was fucking horrible. And then you got like Kris, who's played by the one chick who's in like almost every remake ever. Like When a Stranger Calls, Black Xmas. Why is she in all these remakes? Wasn't it her name like Katie Cassidy or something? Her performance in this movie is bland. Also, why does she look tired? Why does everybody in this movie look so fucking tired? Like some of these characters didn't even have nightmares before Dean's death, and they all just look fucking tired. Like they just like when we first meet Kris, she just looks like why are you tired? Did you get like 10 minutes of sleep last night? Cause like oh my god, everybody just looks tired in this fucking movie. It, I get it, it's Nightmare on Elm Street, but some of these characters just like I just didn't care for any of these performances. Like you got the guy who plays fucking Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob, and he's barely in the movie, and he's wasted. Like some of his lines of dialogue are just bland and forgettable. Like that pains me too. I love his actor; he's a great actor. But when you're just gonna deliver a horrible performance, then I might not watch your movie, dude. All in all, the performances in this movie are basically just horrible. Now, the biggest issue with this movie, the CGI. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of CGI in the world, but I felt that they could have used the CGI just a tiny bit more in this movie, maybe. Because, like, I'm not a biggest fan of CGI, but imagine what they could have done with Freddy Krueger in the Dream World. Like, that's a missed opportunity right there. Come on. Especially that like whole scene where like the that really cool like shot in the original where they used like spandex to where Nancy was sleeping and then Freddy Krueger was like looking down at her, like pushing it against the ceiling where they for that movie they like the original movie they just used spandex and moody lighting, but in this movie they used fucking CGI. Oh god. Oh. Oh, it looks like shit. How do how? He took one simple thing that they probably only spent like $15 on for a pair of like a thing of spandex. Like that's probably like $10. And you probably just spent like $1,000 just for that one shot. Is this what we've come for now? CGI? That's why. They they missed a horrible opportunity making this movie, dude. Like they had so many opportunities in this movie and they just throw it out the window like just fuck you. And this pains me to say this, but I hate this new Freddy. Uh, uh, like I don't like this Freddy. Like he's weird. I love the performance by Earle Haley. He's perfect in the role, but I do not care for the look of this Freddy. He's completely CGI. I do like the little glove. I also really like the little scissor tick Earle Haley added with the glove, where he would just do that with the glove. I really like that what he does and everything. But what I don't like about this Freddy Krueger is I'm one of those guys when I watch a horror movie, I usually root for the killer because they're more cool looking, they're more interesting, and much more fun to watch on screen. And Freddy Krueger, I love rooting for the guy. Yeah, sure, in the original series he's a child murderer, but it's hard for me to root for the killer when he's a child diddler. You did not mishear me. Uh This movie uses Wes Craven's scrapped idea that Freddy Krueger was a pedophile. And this is a weird conversation to have, but I feel like molesting a child is worse than child murder. I know that's a weird argument to say. Both are horrible, but this is going to be weird for a moment for me usually, but to me, child molestation is worse than murder because the child has to live with that trauma and the parents have to live with that trauma. But to me, when it comes to child murder, yeah, that's still horrible. I'm not helping myself, am I? Let me make this clear. Child molestation and child murder are both horrible things in this world. I despise both of them. I'm not saying which one is better and which one's worse, really. But child murder, only the parent has to live with that, really. But when it comes to child molestation, the child has to live with that and has to live with that fact that that actually happened in their life and has to live with that trauma. Like again, it's a weird conversation to make, and it's not really a great argument, but like, come on, dude. It's fucked up. My final negative. What the fuck is this movie trying to do? Trying to prove that Freddy Krueger is innocent. This entire movie, they're knowing about Freddy Krueger and they're trying to learn more about him, and then they find out that they were all repressed memories about them. They find out who Fred Krueger was, and apparently did things to them. Put that lightly, I guess. And apparently, this entire film is about Nancy and Quentin trying to find out who Freddy Krueger was and if he was innocent. So the entire movie is trying to, like, apparently the family, like all the parents that killed Freddy Krueger, they just killed him because they saw the warning signs of what the kids told them. They never found evidence about them, like the cave or something, whatever the fuck the cave is, really. And this entire movie is just them trying to figure out, like, was he innocent? Was he guilty? Was he fucked up or was he not fucked up? And I felt that could have been an interesting thing, explore like a what if scenario. That would have been interesting to see if that Freddy Krueger was in fact innocent. But my issue with this Freddy, if he's no longer a murderer, then what's the point of the glove? The glove is pointless and it's forced to be there. Like, no matter what, the glove has to be there. So what is the point of the glove being there if he's no longer a murderer? And especially when he dies in the boiler room. It's there because it has to be. In the original series, it was important because that's where he worked, murdered, and died. And there they just kind of throw it away in like a 5 minute scene and kill him off. Again, it's there because it's forced to. And and then when you get to the end of the movie, they find the cave, which apparently the parents never looked very hard because they find it within 1 minute, by the way. And then they go, oh no, he was never innocent. He was fucked up and he was a child diddler. So, let me get this straight. The lame twist of this movie is that Freddy's evil. Bitch, we know that since 1984. Like, why are you exploring that? If you're gonna set that up, have it to where he's innocent. Or do something else. Like, if you're gonna set up the entire audience, making them guessing that if he's really innocent, do something new, and then you're like, oh no, he's been fucked up this entire time. Nightmare on Elm Street fans have known that since 1984. Get your heads out of your asses. Oh, guys, I don't like this movie. This is probably the worst remake I've ever seen. And that's saying a lot. There's horrible remakes out there. You got the two Black Christmas movies, you got that fucking horrible The Fog remake. You've got so many bad remakes out there, but this one to me just insults me as a fan of this franchise. So if you're a fan of Nightmare on Elm Street, this movie is probably never going to change your mind. And if you want to see a different take on Nightmare on Elm Street, maybe give this movie a shot. But if you're a hardcore Nightmare on Elm Street fan, this movie will just piss you off from beginning to end, so just go ahead and skip it. What do you guys think about the Nightmare on Elm Street remake? Let me know what you guys thought about it, if you've seen it. Well, did you like it? Did you not like it? Again, let me know if you've seen it and what your thoughts on it. And if you like this video, like it. If you loved it, subscribe and hit the bell notification so you will get notified for my latest videos. Please share this video as well. And again, until my next video, see you next time.